U.S. President Donald Trump all set to visit China this week for talks with his Chinese counterpart. Preparations have been on in full swing for that high-stakes visit, with the U.S. Air Force C-17 aircraft already arriving in Beijing. Addressing the media on Monday itself, Trump said he will be speaking with Xi Jinping about the future of the U.S. arms sales to Taiwan, which has been a source of friction between the two countries for long. In December last year, Trump had announced the largest ever U.S. weapons package for the island, more than $11 billion. However, in the briefing, the U.S. president appeared to downplay the prospects of China trying to seize the self-governing democracy.
Because they've been poisoning the American people. And Joe Biden...
Taiwan, I equate it a little bit to that. If you have the right president, I don't think it'll happen. I think we'll be fine. I have a very good relationship with President Xi. He knows I don't want that to happen.
Trump, however, added that the U.S. was very, very far away from Taiwan compared to China.
Very far away, very, very far away. We're just at 9,500 miles. You know, we're 9,500 miles. He's 67 miles. It's a little bit of a difference, but you know, there's a lot of support for Taiwan from Japan and from countries from that area.
Do you think we should...
And Trump also said that he would be asking Xi Jinping to free Jimmy Lai, the Hong Kong media mogul who was sentenced in February to 20 years in prison, which is effectively a death sentence for the ailing 78-year-old in a way. The U.S. president at the same time appeared to show understanding for the position of Beijing, which clamped down hard on Hong Kong after the mass pro-democracy protests in 2019.
But Jimmy Lai isn't that way. But Jimmy Lai, he caused lots of turmoil for China. He tried to do the right thing. He wasn't successful, went to jail, and people would like him out, and I'd like to see him get out too. So I'll bring him up again.
And ahead of his return to Beijing after nearly half a decade, Trump several times hailed his ties with Xi Jinping, saying they have gotten along well on everything but COVID. His two-day summit with Xi Jinping carrying more energy market weight than any bilateral meeting in recent memory, in fact. The talks also coming as the world grapples with what the International Energy Agency has called the largest supply disruption in the history of the global oil market, with the near total closure of the Strait of Hormuz.
I have a great relationship with President Xi. And I think you can see that with the fact that in Hormuz, they get a big percentage, 40% of their oil from Hormuz. There's been no ships coming in, no nasty ships coming in that we end up in skirmishes with. He'd like to see it get done. He doesn't want to see, I'll tell you what, look, I respect him a lot, and hopefully he respects me.
Much of Iran's oil is bound for Asia, with China a major importer. In the latest, the U.S. has issued sanctions against 12 individuals and entities that it said facilitated the sale and shipment of Iranian oil to China. But Trump is also eyeing business opportunities during his visit to China, as evident from the more than dozen CEOs and top executives joining the U.S. delegation, including Elon Musk and Apple's Tim Cook as well. And for more on this, take a look at this report sent by Dimitri Broas.
We are at a pivotal moment for Taiwan's security, and it hinges on what happens in Beijing this week. President Trump arrives Wednesday night for a two-day summit with Xi Jinping, with Taiwan squarely on the agenda. Trump has already said he will discuss U.S. arms sales with Xi, a first for any sitting American president. Beijing wants more than that. It's pushing Washington to change its language from not supporting to opposing Taiwan independence. Experts warn any rhetorical softening could become the most destabilizing outcome of the summit. Taiwan's premier says the US has made clear it won't allow unilateral changes to the status quo, but that assurance now faces a real-time test. A $14 billion arms package remains unsigned on Trump's desk. Whether it gets approved or shelved may depend on what's said behind closed doors in Beijing. This is Dimitri Vyas in Taipei for TVBS World Taiwan.
To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.